For the better part of 3 years, the Yankees prepared themselves for the out-of-nowhere move that made them the undisputed favorites in the American League East. And because of that calculated build-up to the big splash, the Red Sox have to worry about a lot more than another big, tall, right-hand slugger in the Bronx. The Yankees may very well have another dynasty on their hands. Today's blockbuster news of a pending trade for Giancarlo Stanton is a game-changer for all the obvious reasons, most notably the potential for Stanton and Aaron Judge to combine for 100-plus home runs. The Red Sox, as a team, hit 168 last season. But it goes beyond Stanton alone. It's the way such a large piece fits perfectly into the bigger puzzle. And before we go on, let's get this out of the way. I spent 7 years covering the Yankees in New York and 3 years before that covering their minor league system in Pennsylvania, but I grew up in rural Missouri and never even met a Yankees fan before college. I've certainly never been one myself. I'm just an observer who's seen the grinding gears and what they're beginning to produce. From where I sit today, it's starting to look like a behemoth. The money matters because the Yankees have it. According to multiple reports, the Marlins are giving the Yankees $30 million in the swap. That puts Stanton's remaining contract at $265 million across 10 years, an average annual value of $26.5 million. That's less than Alex Rodriguez's average annual value, which the Yankees were still paying in his retirement last season. Basically, Stanton takes up the payroll that previously belonged to A-Rod. Plus the Yankees dumped the 2 years, $21 million they owed Starlin Castro, so between A-Rod coming off the books and Castro being traded, the Yankees are actually saving money sort of. CC Sabathia and Matt Holliday also came off the books this winter, and dumping redundant Jacoby Ellsbury, even if it means eating most of his salary, would trim even more payroll. Add it all up, and the Yankees just might have a chance to stick to their goal of getting beneath the luxury tax threshold this season ahead of the massive free agent market of 2018. And before Bryce Harper and Manny Machado become available a year from, the Yankees will also rid themselves of Chase Headley and David Robertson, knocking another $26 million off the books. Judge and Gary Sanchez don't even reach arbitration until 2020. There's a ready replacement at second. Castro is a nice player coming off an all-star season. He doesn't turn 28 until March, and he's signed to a reasonable contract with a team option for 2020. That's an important piece, and it's notable that the Yankees won't have him next season. But they will have Gleyber Torres. 2 years ago, Yankees GM Brian Cashman pulled off this maneuver. He traded 4 underwhelming prospects for embattled Reds closer Aroldis Chapman. 7 months later, he traded resurgent Chapman to the Cubs for 4 superior players, then 5 months after that, signed Chapman as a free agent. One of those superior former Cubs is Torres, currently ranked by MLB Pipeline as the game's number 2 prospect behind Shohei Ohtani. Torres is about to turn 21, and he had an .863 ops in AAA last season before needing elbow surgery. Whether on opening day or soon after, the Yankees have Torres to fill the hole at second base. In the meantime, they also have 2 young utility infielders, Ronald Torres and Tyler Wade, to serve as placeholders. And they have a top 100 prospect in Miguel Andujar to serve as a AAA understudy at third base. Their prospects are coming through at exactly the right time to play the right positions. There are still pieces to work with Stanton, Judge, Ellsbury, Brett Gardner and Aaron Hicks. The Yankees have more outfielders than they need. And that's without counting 23-year-old Clint Frazier, who would be a top 100 prospect had he not surpassed rookie status last season. Frazier is instantly one of the best trade chips in the game, a viable and expendable piece the Yankees could use to add a starting pitcher or a proven infielder. Ditto less touted AAA outfielders Jake Cave, Billy McKinney and Tyler Austin, all top 25 talents in the Yankees' deep system who could also become trade chips at a moment's notice. But really, the Yankees don't have many pressing needs. The only everyday player they lost this winter was their DH, and they've addressed that in a big way. They could use a 5th starter, but Sabathia on a 1-year deal seems like a no-brainer. Their bullpen is deep, their lineup is loaded, and the Yankees are positioned for the long haul.